Hey guys, how's it going? I hope everyone is doing well day or night whenever you tune in and see this. This is going to be a general reading for water sign Scorpio, and it is general, so it can cover anything like love, work, friends, family, health, money, etc. Okay, and it is a timeless reading, so that means it can go in the past at some point, in the future beyond the original title frame from February 18th through March 18th. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get into your reading here in just a moment. Scorpio, I've pulled all of your cards. I just want to go over a couple of things, and I wanted to say welcome back to all those coming back, and welcome to all the new people as well. I do take one photo at the end of all the cards that I'll be posting after the live. So if you want to see that to have it more up close in detail, or just look at it later, all you have to do is click in the description box below and follow the instructions there on how to see it. So yes, let's go ahead. I'm going to actually turn on one more light here real quickly. It's kind of cloudy, kind of sunny here, but it seems a little dark. So just give me one second. Excuse me. Okay. I think maybe that helped a little bit. Hopefully. All right. So also wanted to say too that as we go through this reading, if you find that it's not your reading, never force it. Okay. Always check your other placements. Check your sun, moon, and rising, for example, and your Venus also for matters of love and big assets. Okay. And so if you don't already know your placements, you can do like a quick Google search for a free birth chart online, even if you don't know your exact birth time. As long as you know where you were born and your birthday, you should be able to still get a pretty good detailed birth chart. Okay. And I say that because depending on what's going on in your life, you may resonate more with your sun sign, with your moon sign, your rising sign. All right. But we all have all 12 zodiac signs throughout each individual birth chart. Okay. So even if you're not a sun sign, Scorpio, rising Scorpio, moon in Scorpio, there still may be a message here for you because you have Scorpio somewhere in your chart. Okay. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into this reading. We're going to do a quick little sound bell for some grounding and for healing for you and for me, and just to center for the reading. Okay. All right. Just be aware it does get loud sometimes if you're sensitive or listening with headphones or something. Okay. Okay. And if you want to, you can take a deep breath in and out whenever, or you can just listen as well. All right. All right, Scorpio. I'm going to go ahead and put the bell over here because we kind of have not as much space on the table here. So yes, let's go ahead and get into your reading. I also wanted to say that this reading, if it's not directly about you, it could be about the person that you're dealing with. If it's one person or multiple people, or your general environment situation or astrology. Okay. So let me also just clean my glasses. For some reason, they feel like they were a little dirty. Okay. I think that's better. All right. So I want to make sure I can see you guys, and when I show you the cards, it's in focus, of course. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and start with what's in the center here, and then work outwards to what's on the top and the bottom of each deck, since I'm using two different decks. And then we'll also talk about your tarot confirmation cards, and then at the very end, we'll get into some little oracle cards before you go. All right. So, Scorpio, we have the moon in the right side up position, Nine of Cups in the reverse position, Ten of Staves, also known as Ten of Wands in the reverse position, the High Priestess right side up, Two of Staves, also known as Two of Wands right side up, the Four of Swords in reverse, the Four of Staves in the right side up position, also known as Four of Wands, the Ten of Swords right side up, and the Nine of Swords in reverse. Okay, and then we'll go over the other cards, after we do our stuff in the center here. Now, also, since this is, being filmed on March 2nd, we're going to go back a little bit over the last week of February as well. Okay, so this first row is energy around. Okay, it's just a general guideline. February 18th through February 28th for the first row going across. And then the second row is energy around March 1st through March 9th or so. And then the last row here, it will actually be like this, okay? But I have some cards there I don't want to forget to talk about, so I put it like that. But anyway, this last row here with the same deck of cards, okay, is energy around March 9th through March 18th or so, okay? So it will be different for everybody since it's a general reading and we're doing this for multiple people, all right? But yeah, just keep that in mind, and I'll try to mention the dates too every time we're in a new road, okay? Now, I also wanted to go ahead and mention that usually in the beginning of the reading, and then also later we'll talk about it, there can be energy from the recent past that's still trickling in and why certain cards have shown up, okay? So the recent past will be different for everybody. It could be a couple of days ago, hours, minutes, seconds, weeks, months, years, etc. Okay, so let's get into it. I also want to call out real quickly before I forget, as far as the major arcanas, what other zodiac signs I see in your reading here, in case that is for some interest for some people. All right, so first of all, we have two repeating cards. Okay, so that's really, a unique thing that we'll talk about as we get into those cards. But we do have Pisces energy in 3 different cards. Okay, we also have Sagittarius energy. I think that was it, right? Let me double check. Yes. Okay. So what does that mean? That means you could be dealing with a Pisces or multiple Pisces, or it means you have a lot of Pisces in your chart, or the other person does, or multiple people, or it means nothing to you at all, and it can just be something about the general astrology or collective unconscious energy environment at this time. Okay. So let's start off with your first card. All right. And this is one of your repeating cards, and it is the moon in the right side up position. So here we have that Pisces energy. All right. This is actually the official card in the tarot for Pisces energy. All right. Now, this can be energy from the recent past. Remember, I said kind of still showing up. But the moon card speaks of not only creativity and, what's the other word I was trying to think of? Creativity, not passion per se, but it could be passionately create. You could be passionately creative, or the other person or general environment situation. But the shadow side, because every card has positive and negative, and every card has shadow sides of the moon, really talks about not having all the information about something. Okay, it talks about illusions and deceptions. Okay, and so as an example, I always like to talk about the coat rack, right? So if you're in somebody's house or your own house, and you turn off the lights and the coat rack looks like a person, if there's a coat on it, or a monster, or it just looks like something completely different. But then if you just turn the light back on, then you see it more clearly. But here in this moon card energy, it's like looking at something without the light on. Okay, so it's a striving to try to find wisdom around something, because there is a small Native American figure at the bottom, okay, of this grandmother spirit, trying to find the wisdom around what's going on. Now, also what's to mention too in this moon card is there's a river. So when we talk about water in the tarot, that represents our emotions. Okay, so it could be that somebody's emotions, are clouded by some type of delusion or lack of information and lack of truth, and they're trying to find wisdom, but they haven't found it all the way yet. Okay, all right. Now, like I said, this is in that not first, sorry, this is in that last week of February, right? And then we have a little bit of, an energetic blockage here or a challenge or a reminder. Okay, so all readings have that, and it's not a big deal or anything because you still have some other really amazing cards here. Okay, but we're going to talk about the Nine of Cups as your second card in the reverse position here. Okay, so it could be a little bit of this energy that someone is not quite ready for an ending or a new beginning in some way. It could also be, if it's not that, that somebody is not emotionally content, emotionally fulfilled, or happy in some way, because the cups in the tarot, all right, whether they're reversed or right side up, just like the water, represent emotions. Okay, so it could be that somebody's emotional boundaries are not where they should be, their emotional priorities, but it also has that general feeling of not being ready to level up in some way in a leadership role, at work, in a relationship, what have you, with money, with health, okay, whatever it is. But with the Nine of Cups in the reverse position, because if it would be right side up, right, 9 is almost 10. So that's that ending and new beginning, because in the tarot, we go from 0 to 10 is the completion number, all right, but it's reversed. Now, also the thing to know about the Nine of Cups is the way it's depicted, and in this deck, right, is a party-like scene in this medieval dining hall, okay? So it could also be in the reverse position that it speaks of a celebration being put on hold or not being well received or just not happening yet in some way, and it will be different for everybody. But I do really generally feel, especially because your following card we'll get into in a minute, because it's also a 10 in reverse. Okay, so you have 9 in reverse and then 10 in reverse. They're different minor arcanas, but there is this energy of not quite being ready to have this ending and this new beginning, to level up in some way. And again, it doesn't have to be you, Scorpio. It could be another person that you're dealing with, or multiple people, general environment, unconscious, collective, unconscious energy, or astrology. Okay, so here as your third card, we have the 10 of Staves, also known as the 10 of Wands, in the reverse position. Okay, and so this normally, if it was right side up, would be that completion card. Okay, this African woman here has worked really hard. She has all these wands on her back. She's got a kid on her back. She's also got a kid in front of her, right? And hopefully she's going to put those wands down and make something out of it, right? Make a new beginning, have an ending, a new beginning. But with it in the reverse position, there's a hesitancy also with the Nine of Cups in reverse for this ending and new beginning here, okay? Now, this is actually where my spirit guides wanted me to talk to you about what is on the top and the bottom of the same deck that we've been working with in the center here, okay, to get even more insight on why maybe these cards showed up the way that they did, okay, in that energetic blockage here. So what we have, and this is energy from the way, way back past, so further back past the recent past. And again, it will be different for everybody. It could be a couple days ago, months, years, etc. Okay, so what we have is the Temperance in the right side up position and the 10 of Cups in the right side up position. Now the Temperance card here is some of that Sagittarius energy, right? But what the Temperance card really speaks about is trying to have patience for something, okay, trying to find a balance for something as well, because she's got one foot on the land and one foot in the water. And so that represents the unconscious, the conscious, the 3D physical world where we pay our bills, and the 5D spiritual world, okay? But she also is transmuting water, right? And the water, again, is our emotion. She's standing in the water halfway, okay? So it's maybe in the way, way back past here, Scorpio, somebody was really trying to process their emotions or other people's emotions or multiple people's emotions, okay? But then there was like that, because somebody in the way, way back past perhaps was patient working on this, or letting the other person work on this, or multiple people, and then you have the 10 of Cups, right? And now this time it's right side up, okay? So the 10 is again another completion number, okay? And this is definitely a celebratory energy. We have the rainbow, we have these people at the bottom here about to cross this moat and go into the castle and have some type of celebration with all the flags out, okay? But the cups, right, again, are just like the water, talking about emotions, whether they're reversed or right side up. But here it's right side up. So in the way back past here, Scorpio, perhaps this patient energy and this energy that was trying to have a balance between the unconscious, conscious, the 5D and the 3D, led to this beautiful celebratory energy, led to more emotional contentment, emotional happiness, emotional priorities, and boundaries. Okay. So when we talk about these two cards in relation to the other two cards that were that last week of February in the reverse position, the energetic blockage, right? I'll hold them up all together here, okay? So remember, this is current energies and this is way back past energy, okay? So it could be that someone is, again, um, maybe they're not ready to celebrate an ending or new beginning with something. Maybe they need to do again what they did before, right? With the cups and the emotions, and the temperance card is like, what makes me emotionally happy, fulfilled? What are my emotional priorities, boundaries? And maybe somebody, wasn't quite ready to again step into another ending and new beginning, right? And so it's like this hesitancy to do that, okay? Because let's say if you are going to level up in a relationship, at work, with your health, with your money, right? Even though, let's say it's something really positive, it brings on new responsibilities and possibly leadership roles, right? And maybe somebody here, again, if it's not you yourself, Scorpio, is maybe scared to do that and scared to see, what the future holds or what the changes are. It's a normal reaction for all humans to be a little worried about change, right? But it is a part of life, and it's going to happen, right? Whether you lean into it or you resist it. Okay, so I don't want to spend too much time there. Okay, but I just wanted to give you a little more of that information. Okay, now moving forward into that second row, the week we're in now, from March 1st through the 9th, so the rest of this week and into this upcoming weekend for some, but again, it will be different for everybody. We have the wonderful High Priestess in the right setup position. So here, right, to go from the 10 of Staves in reverse to now the High Priestess, somebody's really trying to figure out, what is my intuition telling me? What is my inner guidance system telling me? If there's secret knowledge, right, 'cause she's holding the scrolls, am I using that to my advantage, or are they using that to their best ability and advantage? Okay, and so maybe it's also the energy of, well, why don't I want to level up? Why don't I want a new beginning in this ending? Why don't I want to be celebrated for all the hard work I've put into something, or the other person has put into something, or multiple people have put into something? So here, like I said before, there's an energetic blockage and some resistance, but here now we're getting into the month of March, it seems like somebody isn't resisting as much. Okay, and again, that is Pisces energy with the High Priestess, a little bit of Scorpio energy too. You are a Scorpio, right? But you have three cards that really speak of Pisces. Okay, but it doesn't necessarily matter, just mentioning it. Okay. Now moving forward, to follow the High Priestess in the right side up position, your fifth card, and it's one of your repeating cards, I'll get into it later when we come up with the other one, is the Two of Staves or the Two of Wands in the right side up position. And this is such a natural progression, I feel like, okay, because it's not a go energy card. It's a more slowing down of energy. It's going within. So here we see the back of this Egyptian woman's head, right? And she's looking out into the Nile River, looking at her emotions, even if you're not a woman, right? It's just a metaphor of the card, okay? So it's like this, and energies are oh my gosh, they're complementing each other. All right. And so, the Two of Wands or the Two of Staves is what it's called in this deck, is about doing some people watching. It's about, okay, well, how did that other person deal with a similar situation, even though they're not exactly the same? Or it's just watching how people interact to get some kind of like social cues, or to bring more meaning into your life, into your own intuition, into their own intuition, into multiple people's own intuitions, right? But it is not a bad energy. It's a really beautiful energy, and it totally makes sense, following the high priestess. Okay, so you could find yourself in that energy this week, or the other person, multiple people, environment. Okay. Now, your next card is really beautiful as well, and it is basically a confirmation card in itself, even though it's not a tarot confirmation card, because those we do at the end more, and that's from the other deck. But it's like kind of confirming, the high priestess and the two of staves that we just talked about, all that hard work and going inward and slowing down and asking the important questions and all that stuff. Here, it's like, yes, somebody's really been doing that, okay? And when they do that, they let go of anxiety, worry, overthinking with the Four of Swords in reverse position. This is a lucky card to see it like this in this position. This is how you want to see it, right? Because before, she's burying it. She's trying to hide and forget what is stressing her out. Okay, and the swords in the tarot represent our intellect, our mind, right? So if you're too much up in your head with anxiety, worry, overthinking, it could block your abundance and just generally, of course, stress you out, stress others out as well. But here she's like, I'm going to let those things go. I'm going to bring them out to light. I'm going to go and use my intuition, my inner guidance system. My gut reaction is telling me something of what to do next. Okay, so this is really beautiful here. I love this row here for you, Pisces. Okay. Now, going forward, let me just put this like this so I don't forget to talk about it. We have the Four of Staves, okay, now in the right side up position. And now we're in the third row, and that's energy around, right? As an example, March 9th through the 18th, we have the Four of Wands or Four of Staves in the right side up position now. And this is so beautiful, right? Because this, compared to even just the Two of Wands where they're by themselves, now somebody's getting back out into some type of social environment, okay? Whether it's physically there or just there energetically or online or whatever it is, okay? But it's also a card of celebrational type energy. It's a union card, right? It could be a romantic union. It could be a platonic union with friends and family. It could be a work partnership. It could be a union of different parts of yourself, whatever it is you're watching this reading for, okay? But we have the Four of Staves right side up, and you see these two Egyptian people talking, right? There's wine and cheese and grapes on the table here. And the main thing is they're very relaxed and comfortable, okay? It's a nice atmosphere, a party-like atmosphere of that relaxation, okay? So this is really nice to see here for you as well, Pisces, and this could be more in the middle of March energy, okay? Give me 1 second here. My allergies back. And coffee is wonderful. I love it. Okay. Obviously, I have this giant coffee that you probably see all the time if you've seen it before. Okay. But going forward, we're now going into your 8th card here in the last row in the center, okay? And it seems like all this really good stuff is happening, right? That you've put hard work into, or someone else has really done the shadow work, or they're really working through their emotions in some way. And then we have this relaxed party like atmosphere. And when I also talked about this being a union card, whether it's romantic, platonic, work, union of different parts of yourself, that union could also help you get back in that more relaxed state. But then something happens here and it doesn't last too long. It could only be even a couple of days of this energy. It will be different for everybody. But there's one more blockage here, okay? And this is like something could trigger you or trigger the other person or multiple people, where all of a sudden all that anxiety and worry and overthinking comes back, okay? Because we have the Ten of Swords in the right side up position. Now, if it's not anxiety, worry, overthinking, it could also just be general exhaustion and lower vibrational frequencies, okay? Because here we see the samurai, like Japanese guy, putting swords into the body of someone and they're laying down, Okay, so when you see the laying down, that's also the exhaustion. Okay, or it's low vibrational frequencies. What are low vibrational frequencies? It's like devil card energy of addictions, being tempted, not being your best higher self, or vibrational energy. Okay, but I really feel like this could have been triggered by something, and we all have triggers at different times, and we, definitely with what's going on in the world and the pandemic and all this stuff, and Ukraine right now. It could be even more easy to have like something come up that's going to worry you or worry the other person or have them get too much up in their head. Okay, because the Ten of Swords also talks about, when we talk about exhaustion, right, that it's keeping somebody from sleeping, okay, or not sleeping like they normally do or well enough. All right, so here, this is where we're going to talk about what's on the top and the bottom of your other deck to get even more insight. But just as a little like foreshadowing preview, the next card that follows it is so good. Okay, so don't worry too much, like I was saying earlier. Okay, and here we have one of your repeating cards as well. So I'll pull that up in a second. But this, when we talk about energy from the way back past, what's on the top and the bottom, right? Okay, so we have the Two of Wands again in the reverse position, and then here we have the Nine of Cups. But again, you have three repeating cards. Oh my God, I just realized you have three repeating cards, not two. Oh Lord, but no, it's a good thing. It's synchronicity from spirit confirming the messages, right? Because I do a lot of shuffling and cutting of the deck. So anytime you see, and I'll show you this one here too, repeating cards, there's usually 72 cards in each tarot deck unless it otherwise says. So that's 1 in 72 chances that it's going to come out again. To look at your first kind of repeating card here, to also see how the different artists depict the similar energy. Okay, one is from, excuse me, the present current energies that we already talked about, and then this one is from the way back past, and it was reversed. So just in these two cards alone, you can see your progress here, Scorpio, or the other person's progress, or multiple people's progress, or the general environment situation progress. Okay, because when the Two of Wands is in the reverse position from the way back past, it's like somebody doesn't want to slow down and go within. Somebody doesn't want to ask for help or do people watching or look at how other people may have dealt with similar situations or challenges or whatever. And so that is kind of what it represents for the way back past. But it looks like it was a catalyst, okay? Because like I said, we already see the progress that now it's in the right side up position in your more future current energies. But also because what follows it, what was on the bottom of your deck, right, is the Nine of Cups in the right side up position. So in the way back past here, somebody was like, this is what makes me happy. I want to celebrate. I want to get ready for that ending and that new beginning type of energy. I want to level up in some way, or the other person does, or multiple people, general environment situation. Now that also was a repeating card. So let me pull that up. Okay. Again, this way, it's not necessarily progress because in the way back past, you could have been more open to the changes that life's always presenting us, or the other person was more open to the changes that life's presenting us, whether the big changes or small changes, right? Because this is the past information where it's right side up. But here in your more future current energies, it was a reverse, that energetic blockage, okay? But it's cool just to see too how the different artists depict the same kind of energy. So again, 1 in 72 chances that card is going to come out again, okay? And it doesn't matter whether one is reversed and one is not. It's still the same card, okay? So that's really important to note. Now going back to these two cards, going further into why that Ten of Swords shows up out of nowhere and triggers you, Scorpio, or someone, or multiple people, okay, or the environment, all right, is because I really feel that in the way back past, somebody wasn't open, right, to doing the people watching. So reading online as an example, like, okay, how do you deal with this challenge? How did another person deal with this? Or even if it's not a challenge, how did somebody handle new responsibilities or leveling up in a relationship, at work, with their health, with money, excuse me, etc. Okay. And I feel like the answer to that is being really clear about what is your priority emotionally, what makes you happy, what makes them happy, multiple people happy, what are the boundaries, what are the really important things at the end of the day, right? And so if you, or they, right, you know, face those things, then they can let the anxiety, worry go, the overthinking go, and the exhaustion energy go. All right. And look at this, Pisces, another progress card. Remember, I said your last card, your ninth card, is beautiful. Who let it go? I said, why did I say Pisces? You're Scorpio. Oh, because you have all this Pisces energy. My bad. Scorpio. I said Scorpio, right? Okay, Scorpio. Look at the progress, though, for real. Okay, you go from here, somebody's stressed out, right? They're overthinking, they're exhausted, and then here, they're letting it go. Okay, so beautiful. And like I said, that energy didn't last long, okay, because somebody maybe snaps out of it and they're like, why am I overstressing? Why am I overthinking too much? Why am I letting this affect my sleep? My energy levels, all of that. Okay, so it looks like towards the middle of March, you or the other person, multiple people are going to let that go. And that's so beautiful because that's how you want to see the Nine of Swords. You don't want to see it right side up. Look how stressed out this woman is, or man. I think it's a woman. Look how stressed out this woman looks with these swords over her head. No. You don't need to do that. And that's what you are going to do, Scorpio, or the other person is. Multiple people, general environment. All right, now with that being said, let's go ahead and get into your tarot confirmation cards here. So hopefully you can see the table a little bit, or at least where they're at, all right? But these first two tarot confirmation cards from the other deck are energy from the recent past, and then the last two are more future, current, present energies, okay? So I'll go ahead and call them out in order, and then we'll go one by one. But we have the moon in the reverse position. That's one of your other repeating cards, your third repeating card. You have also the Eight of Cups in reverse, the Ace of Swords in reverse, and the Nine of Wands in reverse. So let's look at these two just side by side for a second. Excuse me. Okay, getting it together. All right, and just for as an example to see again how the two artists. Wait, this is not the moon card. Oh my goodness. I know I did that. This is the High Priestess. You have two High Priestess cards, not two moon cards. Okay, I'm going to get it together. But it is still Pisces energy and a little bit of your own Scorpio energy, okay? And remember, one is in reverse and one is right side up. One is from the recent past and one is more from future current energies. So again, you can see the progress, right? Just in these two cards, okay? So, before we get into it, what does the High Priestess in reverse mean? It means that somebody in the recent past was not using their intuition, was not trusting their gut reaction to something, was not using their inner guidance system. They weren't going within to find answers in some way. They also could have been, what is the word? Or the way to say it? It's like, when you have the High Priestess right side up, she's holding the scrolls, right? She has that secret knowledge, secret information. She could be holding it close to her chest, but eventually going to bring it out. But when it's in the reverse position, it could be somebody, for some, not everybody, let out some secrets too soon, or they were just denying their own knowledge and their own intuition. And that's generally how I see this card. All right, so this card is a confirmation card, and it's coming in here and confirming the moon right side up, the High Priestess right side up, and the Four of Staves or Four of Wands right side up, okay? So we kind of already talked about what it means with its twin card, the High Priestess, but let's talk about it with the moon here, okay? Now, with this energy from the recent past of the High Priestess in reverse, if you're not using your intuition, or the other person isn't, or multiple people, general environment, right? How can you process your emotions and get all the information right? Turn the light on so you can see that it's a coat rack and not a monster or a person, right? And so that's pretty much, what makes sense here. Also, if you want to get the wisdom of the moon card, the small Native American grandmother's spirit that's at the bottom, or sometimes you see it as an owl. If you want to get that wisdom faster, right, and come out of illusion, come out of confusion, okay, you're going to have to use your instincts. You're going to have to use your intuition. You're going to have to face your emotions, or the other person is, if it's not you, Scorpio, or multiple people. All right. Now here, because we already talked about the high priestess with the high priestess, so I won't do it twice. But here we have it confirming the Four of Swords, or the I said swords. Sorry, I meant Four of Wands, or Four of Staves, as it's called in this deck. All right. And so here it's like, how do I, let me take that back. It's not how do I, it's like, this recent past energy of somebody not trusting their intuition, their inner guidance system, and their instincts could have been a catalyst to now in the future say, hold on, let me relax some, right? Why am I stressing out so much? Let me rely on this union, whatever union it may be, to help me get back to myself, to help me get my own answers, right? It's not like you're asking the other person necessarily what to do, but they're helping you relax more and get into that state where you can welcome in your intuition more. Okay, so whether that union is romantic or platonic with friends or family or work partnership, etc., doctors, whatever, okay, because it can happen, and we know that it does. All right. Now, moving forward, another great card to see here for you, Scorpio, in the reverse position is the Eight of Cups, okay? It's not even necessarily, well, it's great to see it in this position for your reading, okay? It's different in every reading. But this is, again, energy from the recent past, right? So in the let's say, way back past, somebody walked away. Somebody had to take a break. Somebody had to deal with their emotions, ask the important questions. But here, when it's in the reverse position, they've done that. So now they're ready to come back into circulation in some way, or come back to themselves, or whatever it is, okay? So this is how you want to see this card, and this is very beautiful. And when it's coming in here and confirming the Nine of Cups in reverse, the Two of Staves, or Two of Wands right side up, and then the Ten of Swords right side up here. We'll just go one by one. Yes, this is the first one. Okay. So this time, when we talk about it with the Nine of Cups in reverse, it's like maybe that asking those important questions and dealing with the emotions from the recent past, maybe it wasn't done all the way. Okay. And that's why this one here is still in the reverse position, Nine of Cups. Maybe somebody doesn't want to celebrate yet. Somebody doesn't want to have an ending or new beginning or level up in something because there's still some healing from the past. There's still some clarifying, if it's not healing, clarifying from the past, okay? The recent past that wasn't done fully. And so that's kind of why that was still a little bit of an energetic blockage, maybe in that last week of February or so, or even the first week of March that we're in, depending on every person is different. Okay, now when we see it here with the Two of Staves or Two of Wands right side up, it's very beautiful, but it's like the same thing I kind of just said. It wasn't fully finished. Okay, so why is the energy going to slow down here? It's not a go energy. It's a slowing down. It's going within, again, processing the emotions, asking for advice, people watching, reading online, researching, whatever. Okay, because that process wasn't all the way finished yet. Okay, or if it was all the way finished, then it needed to be done again in a different way, in a new situation. Okay. Now here, when we talk about the Eight of Cups in reverse with the Ten of Swords right side up, it's like, yeah, the anxiety, the worry, the overthinking, the exhaustion could come back up again because maybe from the recent past, again, things weren't all the way healed or clarified, or talked about in some way as far as somebody's emotions here, or what makes them happy, what makes them sad, what makes them depressed, what is like your emotional boundaries, your priorities, right? Like I'm not gonna, as an example, let okay, I'm not gonna, as an example, let this type of energy bother me anymore, this type of person in my life anymore. Okay, something like that, perhaps. And so the person needs to come in and make that clear boundary and cut off for themselves and or even for others, so they don't have so much worry and anxiety, and so they're not exhausted. Okay. All right. Now, moving forward to your more future, current, present energies for your last two tarot confirmation cards. All right. The first one here, the Ace of Swords in reverse position. I would say that this is kind of a warning or a reminder. Okay. If certain things aren't addressed, then it could stay that way. But it doesn't have to, because everyone has free will. And anytime when you get a reading, at least for me and the other readers that I support and suggest to people, you always have free will, okay? But with this Eight of Swords in reverse, somebody is possibly still confused about something, still having anxiety, worry, overthinking, a celebration put on hold again, right? With the reef here on the top of the sword, if it was right side up. Somebody's denying their own gifts, okay? Aces are about new beginnings. Again, somebody is denying some type of new beginning here if you don't take the lessons that this card is confirming, okay? So it's not set in stone. But when this Ace of Swords in reverse comes in here and confirms the 10 of Staves or 10 of Wands in reverse, the Four of Swords in reverse. Hold on, let me do it like this. It's better to hold. And the Nine of Swords in reverse. Okay. I would say these two, it is a catalyst, right? But for this one, and we'll go in order here, because this is the first one, but it is, it's not a catalyst. It's like, remember when I said that 10 are completion numbers, right? So it's an ending and new beginning. If you want more mental clarity, if you want to accept gifts from the divine, your own gifts or gifts from others, right? People to help you or you to come into your own power, you need to not deny that the change is a part of life. Yes, it can be scary for all of us, right? But it's going to happen whether you lean into it or not. It's going to happen whether you resist it or not. Okay. So, and if it's a hesitancy to level up in some way in a leadership role, in a partnership, romantic or work, in your health, in your money, whatever it is, if it's just like a scared energy of like, I'm not sure this is going to work out, well, then you're going to manifest that, right? Because you are your thoughts and what you focus on. So, it's going to stay in the reverse position if you keep freaking out about it. But if you try to say, I want more mental clarity, I want to embrace this new beginning, then you will. Okay. So that's just, a little bit of that warning energy there or reminder. I like reminders better than warnings because that sounds so scary and whatever. All right. But now when this, I'm making sure I'm holding it right. Now when the Ace of Swords in reverse is confirming the Four of Swords in reverse, it's like somebody took that lesson on, right? They said, in the more future current energies, I'm going to not bury the things down that bother me. I'm going to deal with them head on. Okay, so this is again just saying keep doing that if you're doing that, Scorpio, or if the other person is doing it, support them or multiple people, general environment situation, because the more that people can speak about what bothers them and have more mental clarity and less anxiety, the better for everybody on the planet, right? Not an easy thing to do, but we're all trying. So now here, when we have also this beautiful card of the Nine of Swords in reverse and it being confirmed by the Ace of Swords in the reverse position, it's like, yeah, if you don't continue to let that stuff go, and let it stress you out, then you're going to block your own abundance. You're going to block this new beginning. You're going to block gifts from the universe, gifts from others. You're going to block celebrations. So just continue to keep letting those things go. All right. Now, with your last confirmation card here, your fourth one, Scorpio, it's another beautiful card to have in the reverse position. It's the Nine of Wands in reverse, okay? And this is, again, more future, current, present energies. So here, this means somebody is letting go of all their defenses. Not all of their defenses. Let me take that back. They're letting go of the ones that are like emotional walls or blocks to others, right? Of course, you want to protect yourself on the street and in your home and all of that, but you don't want to be overly defensive. But also the other thing is when this card is right side up, this woman is shown that she is vulnerable, okay? So in other decks, the guy would even have like a broken arm or he's hurt in some way. So here in the reverse position, Scorpio, it's like, okay, I'm not going to look like a victim. I'm not going to show others that I'm hurt all the time or they could take advantage of me in some way, perhaps. Here, I'm going to have the right kind of defenses, but not so high that I block my own abundance, right? So this is beautiful, and this is how you want to see this card. So it's going to come in and it's going to confirm the ones we already just talked about, but maybe, excuse me, in a slightly different way. So we have the Nine of Wands in reverse, confirming the 10 of Wands in reverse, the Four of Swords in reverse, and the Nine of Swords in reverse. All right. So here it's like, okay, saying, again, let your defenses down. Don't be overly vulnerable. Don't show yourself as weak or as a victim. Again, if it's not you, Scorpio, it could be about the other person, a multiple people, general environment situation, right? So the more that you can have the right kind of boundaries and defenses up, then you can, again, have that ending and that new beginning. And you can put some of the weight down too, like, right? Because, when the 10 of Wands is in reverse, here she's like right about to put those wands down, okay? Because it's the ending and new beginning. But here, when it's in reverse, it's like you're still carrying it, still carrying the burden of something, okay? So let that down. And when you do that, let your defenses down a little bit and don't, block your abundance. And abundance isn't just money or wealth, like I always say. It's whatever you want to manifest, in your life currently. All right. Now with the Four of Swords here, yes, it's saying continue to not have so much anxiety, worry, overthinking, being too much up in your head, right? Whether it's you yourself, Scorpio, the other person, general environment situation. Don't bury things, right? Don't put things under the rug. Don't let things fester inside. Okay, let it out, deal with it, confront it, even if it's scary or challenging. And then, then you won't be a victim either. Like when you stress out about something and give away your power, then the universe, the law of attraction is going to keep bringing that energy to you. Okay, so the more that you let go of the anxiety, worry, overthinking, and let your defenses down, you can get back to getting on with whatever you want to manifest. Okay. And look at this, 2 nines in reverse. All right. Yes. So again, continue to let down the defenses and don't be a victim or show yourself as vulnerable, too overly vulnerable to others. And let go of anxiety, worry, overthinking. All right. And get on with what you want to bring into your life. All right. So that is what I have for you as far as the tarot, Scorpio. But real quickly before you go, let's also do your little oracle cards here as well. All right. And this first one is your love oracle message, whether you're watching for romantic love or platonic love with friends or family or self-love or all the above, right? And this is so interesting that this card came out. Because I felt it in your reading, when I was shuffling too. It's kind of, I'm trying to see which one I felt it the most. Well, I would say probably with one of your repeating cards. Oh, I put them under here. I was like, where did they go? With the Two of Staves or Two of Wands, right? Remember we said the progress one from the way back past was in reverse, and then this one was right side up, okay? Because your love card was forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moment, right? So as you forgive the past, right, that would be your emotions. That would be the Nile River here. So embracing your emotions and letting things go and heal it and process things, okay, will give you more forgiving and learning of others and also, yourself, of course, okay? So I thought that was really beautiful. And also, if it's not for like a romantic partnership or with friends or family or even self love, it's the same thing, right? As you release and heal the past, you experience more love, different forms of love, better love, right, in your present moment. Okay. Now, your last oracle message here is from the Rumi or Remy, depending on how you pronounce it, oracle deck by Elena Fairchild. And so Rumi was a 13th century Persian poet that was like one of my favorite poets back in the day. And so when I saw this deck, I had to get it. So anyway, they partner some of his poems with this imagery in the cards, and then it comes with like a little affirmation that you can do. So the one that you got this time, Scorpio, is card number 25, and it says, beyond the threshold of fear. And you see this kind of human-like figure in the center, looking at the sun and all this darkness behind them. All right. So let's see real quickly what this thing says here. Okay. It says, beyond the threshold of fear, enter the lion's jungle. Don't think about getting hurt. Fearful thoughts are phantoms of the mind, right? All those swords cards. No one is harmed in this jungle. Everything is compassion and love. It is your fear holding you back like a bar behind the door. How I celebrate for you. After so long away from home, you are finally returning. Beyond the threshold of fear, you dispense with your doubts, hesitations, cautions, and tentativeness. They are old friends with whom you no longer have anything in common. Goodbye, old friends, I wish you well, you say, whilst turning your face to the light of a new and yet ancient world. You are visiting as though for the first time, and yet somehow also remember deep in your sacred heart. Finally, we can sit together in the charming courtyard at home. We shall tell our tales of adventure and laugh, and we shall dance. Yes, dance on the bell. Finally, we sit together in the charming courtyard at home. We shall tell our tales of adventure and laugh, and we'll dance and sing. Eventually, day shall pass into night, and we'll gaze beneath our feet, our mouths gaping open in awe, and minds utterly blank, rendering dumb and sweet submission to beauty as we watch the world spinning on her axis. That's so beautiful. All right, let's see what a little ritual says here. Okay. It says, place your hands at your belly and say aloud, with the aid of Rumi, who loves me without condition, and the loving grace of Mother Earth, I lay down all old fear that no longer serves my great soul purpose. I release it now with complete forgiveness, acceptance, and gratitude. Be at peace, old fear. Thank you for your teachings. Return to Mother Earth now. I no longer bind you to me. Okay, that's deep. I love it. And then it says, slowly and purposely move your hands from your belly towards the earth as if taking the fear from your body and dropping it with reverence into the receiving earth at your feet. Repeat that movement 3 times or for however long feels necessary. You may also like to repeat that movement with your hands, moving from your heart down towards the earth, and then from your head, sweeping gently down to the earth. When you are ready, say, through the grace of Rumi, fear is replaced with wisdom. I am gently, powerfully restored to my inert divine radiance, ready to live my life with love filled with trust, patience, boldness and tender affection, so be it. And that is your ritual or your affirmation there. So very nice. I like it. Hopefully you got something from this, Scorpio. Always feel free to let me know if you feel comfortable, but you don't have to, in the comments down below. And again, I will post one photo in a few moments on my Facebook page if you want to see the cards more up close in detail later. So all you have to do is click in the description box below to find it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So enjoy this time period, and you guys take care. Oh yes, and also real quickly, of course, thank you for your energy and your views, and thank you for your likes and your sharing of the video if you do, and your subscriptions. All are free ways to help support this channel. And when you like the video, not only tells me that you resonate with it, but also it tells YouTube's algorithm that you like it, and so they will naturally share it with more people. So that's pretty much it. But you guys take care, and I will see you later, and we'll come back in a little while with Libra. All right, bye.